What up, dudes? We got another cut test for you today, the Divo Knives Stout. So, this knife was designed by Divo, Kev and Colin over there, and was made by QSP overseas. We're looking at 20 CV blade steel, kind of a signature hawkbill sort of beak-ish sheep's foot blade. Makes me think of the Seahawk logo. Pretty ergonomically neutral handle. Wire clip. This one's kind of a fancy one with copper carbon fiber and a Damascus backspacer. Here's the edge, easily slicing paper. So I had done a cut test video with this knife before, and it didn't cut very well. And I had accidentally said in the video that it was made by Best Tech. So I took down the video because of the mistake in what I said. And I decided to put a fresh edge on this knife and then do it again, just to really give it the benefit of the doubt, you know. So I will say that, the first time I tested it really didn't cut well at all. It was the factory edge that I had stropped up, and I got this knife secondhand, so keep that in mind too. There's no telling what was done to it before I got my hands on it. So this is a fresh edge that I put on it with the work sharp. You can see that it went through the single thickness cardboard pretty easily. Now we're onto the double thickness stuff. Going with the grain, pretty easy. Pretty easily going through it. Now against the grain, still pretty easy. I'm not noticing any real hot spots yet. Yeah, against the grain, actually pretty good. All right, now on to the glove test. Let's see how it cuts some leather. I'm gonna roll up this old welding glove so there's a bunch of layers in there, and then do some cuts. Gets through it fairly easily. A little bit of sawing motion needed to get through it, but it's making a pretty nice clean cut. See a couple of saws to get through it, but yeah, not bad. This blade shape is going to really lend itself toward utility cuts. Obviously, it's got a really nice low tip. So cuts like this here, this is going to be pretty good at. It's cutting this leather rip pretty nice. So I don't know why it didn't cut well initially. It must have just been a kind of a crappy edge. So back to the paper. It's snagging up a little bit, but it's still slicing the paper. More utility cuts on some cardboard. Real easy. You can see you really don't have to raise your wrist or arm up very high at all to get to the tip, which is why this sheep's foot style blade is real good for utility cuts. Now the strap. This is hard for knives to get through. Let's see how the Stout does. About halfway. I thought it would do a little better just because usually when you are cutting with a knife with some belly on it, usually you slip out really quick before you can cut it. I thought this sheep's foot would do a little better, but we're getting about halfway through. Now on to the rope cut. Let's see what the Stout can do here. Didn't get it on the first one. Let's see if we can get it on the second one, going through that same cut. And yep, we got it. Got it on the second one. Let's do it again. First time, nope. Second time, nope. Third time, yes. Third time we got it. So you can see the edges actively taking damage as we were cutting the rope. Let's put the same amount of pressure into each of the cuts. So let's see where we're at with the paper. It's cutting. We're starting to snag up. Yeah, we've definitely dulled the edge quite a bit at this point. I don't think it should really be dulling quite this quickly. I got a different piece of paper, a fresh piece of paper to try it again. And yeah, it's cutting. If you get the right angle, it is slicing the paper. We're going to strop it up a little bit here and see how it responds to the strop. Typically 20 CV, when it's real hard, is, doesn't strop back super easily since it's just so hard. But we're going to test it out here, see how it does. Alright, back to the paper. Yeah, it's cutting. It's cutting. Not as easily as it was before. But we are, it's, if you get the right angle and you go the right speed, you can slice paper for sure. So overall, I don't know. I think this 20 CV is not, it doesn't seem to be, it doesn't seem to be, the edge doesn't seem to be lasting quite as long as I think it should, but I'm no expert, who knows, just judging from these other tests I've been doing. I do not like the sharpening choil on this knife. There basically is none. So that's a pretty big negative in my book. I think overall the knife cut pretty well. It's definitely pretty ergonomic. I like the choke up spot. The detent is really dialed in. Pretty perfect. So there it is, Divo knife Stout. Thanks for watching, dudes. I will see you in the next video. Adios.